This is a video for my future viewers. So what I say now will be unintelligible to the people watching this now. We are the 8th of May, but at some moment in the future it will be intelligible, I guess. I have been reading Hegel for the past 2 days because I want to understand logic so that I might improve my videos, so that they might become more successful, because I feel guilty and I have a message to share. That's a long story. But the more I read Hegel, the more I understand myself. And yesterday I understood that I am what he calls the ID. And this morning I have just understood the logic of the concept, the beginning. Concept, judgment, and the beginning of syllogism. I had never understood before. So I understood in August 2018 that I was reason. I did not understand that I was reason. I thought that I was God, but actually it was reason. I later discovered this. So reason understood itself without understanding itself in August 2018 for the first time. That's when I understood that I am the subject of the substance. Then, in the following month, I understood that I am the negative at some moment I must have understood that I am the consciousness of the phenomenology. A few weeks ago, I understood that I am the concept, and when I did understand this, I made videos, so I understood that I am the concept. I understood also that I am spirit, so I have an empirical self and a universal, immaterial, invisible self. And yesterday I understood that I am the ID, but I do not understand how it's possible, but I just get the ID, so to speak. And now I am starting to understand the logic of the concept. And I don't know what to say. No one is gonna save my soul if I do not save myself. So if I had to defend my soul, I would use the song by Ava Max, Sweet but Psycho, or So I Am, So Am I. Everything inside me is dark and twisted. Maybe there is a beautiful part in me. And I will talk here as an empirical self, knowing that my empirical consciousness is limited. I suffer because of my emotions. Not only of my negative emotions, of course, but I suffer of having positive emotions. Love, attachment cause me suffering, because when I love, I am afraid of being rejected, of not being good enough for the person that I love. I am afraid of losing the person that I love, so love hurts. So I suffer from having emotions. So what I do on an empirical level is to try to rationalize, to elevate myself in thought, to look at the world through the eyes of rationality. But this is a very depressing view. This is the view of biologists, that basically love is just your hormones playing a trick on you, that having children is just your selfish genes expressing themselves, that politics is just manipulation and a blind will to power. So I have tried unconsciously throughout my intellectual development to adopt a purely rationalist view of the world, and someone who looks at the world with no emotions, just in a purely rationalistic view, is what we call a psychopath. But a psychopath means the opposite of what we ordinarily think what it means, in the sense that we believe that a psychopath is cold and has no emotion. But psychopath means the soul suffers. So when I look at the world through the lens of rationality, I understand the world, but then I suffer. So I fall back into my emotions, but they make me suffer. So I go back to the purely intellectual view, and I oscillate between the two. So I guess that I am partly a sweet psycho. I am sweet but psycho. Yeah. And when I go out and encounter ordinary people, I am conflicted, because when I see blonde children, I am happy because of my German, partly racist self. But then when I see couples with children, I am also happy, because I say, at least they enjoy life. They think that life is worth living. That's why they've had children. When I see people having ordinary conversations, enjoying themselves in whatever fashion, just having a cup of coffee, or enjoying the presence of the sun, or talking about sports, or even politics, or whatever, a part of me feels kind of happy, because I said to myself, well, there are people who are joyful to be alive. And then I think about conflict, war, and death, and I say to myself, yeah, but that's problematic. But if people are afraid to die, if people think that starvation in some whatever African country is unacceptable or should not be tolerated, and we should do everything to prevent this, they unconsciously acknowledge that if starving to death or dying in war is bad, it means that staying alive is good. So they unconsciously acknowledge that life isn't all that bad, because they think that losing life is bad. So even the negative elements of being, I try to envision a positive side. But then there are the people who want to kill themselves, suicidal, depressive people. That's another problem. But yeah. And I said that in my video that I would praise God as long as I can. and cultural Hegelianism consists in saying that spirit is made manifest in modern pop culture. And when I have recently discovered Ava Max, and if I had to praise God, I would say this is brilliant. This is she's a wonderful artist. That's amazing. Yeah, and very recently, I have discovered Billie Eilish, and here we're on a different level. This is genius, and real genius is beyond good and bad. It's genius. So Billie Eilish is pure genius. It's dark. It's very dark. But it's also brilliant. I will make, if I can, a serious analysis of in conceptual terms or whatever. But I have a belief, which might be wrong, that there is negativity within God, and God cannot prevent this negativity. But what He tries to do is to transcend the negative in an artistic, poetic fashion. That's how I envision things. Maybe I'm deluding myself, I don't know. And yeah. I will improve my videos, but I felt the need to share. I have just understood in the last 2 days the idea and the judgments and syllogism, at least the beginning. Whatever Hegel is, it's intellectual genius. It's simply brilliant. And Hegel says somewhere that pure light is as dark as pure darkness, because pure light is so brilliant that you don't see anything. So maybe what I call Hegel is simply too brilliant. And whatever I have said against Hegel, whatever I will say or will be tempted to say against Hegel, I have to acknowledge the sheer brilliance, the genius, the intelligence, I will conclude by saying that I have understood that I am the only one who can understand Hegel, and Hegel is the only one who can understand me. So, yeah.